By this point, you probably already all watched my video nutritional breakdown of raw plant-based diet. And if you haven't yet, then please go in the description box and click the link and watch that video. If you watched it, then you saw that the major powerhouse of my diet is a majestic green salad that supplies all essential amino acids, minerals, and vitamins. People understand that. However, whenever the conversation about potentially switching to raw veganism comes up in my dialogues with people, they seem to be enthusiastic and nice, but then they literally all stumble on the subject of eating a salad. People simply do not understand how beautiful, addictive, and tasty the salads can be. So they take their old paradigm of what they see, like, I don't know, this house salad basically made of toilet paper and like week-old cut two cherry tomatoes, and they think that this is a salad. This is something nutritious. No. Today I'm going to show you how to make a salad, how to select the ingredients, how to process them, some tricks to enhance the flavors such that you are always satisfied, absolutely blown away with the flavor of your salad. This is literally something that I eat every single day in different variations. However, some things stay the same. So I will discuss them with you, and I will totally empower you on your journey of enjoying raw plant-based lifestyle, or at least elements of raw veganism, which this salad is a total must to adopt whatever food, whatever dietary system you follow. And the tip number 1 is how you choose the ingredients. When you see this at a supermarket, just keep walking, make your way to the produce section, because what they sell in those plastic bags inflated with some air, all those pre-chopped salads and mixtures, they are completely wasteful. They do not deserve your attention. They're not worthy of your money and time and effort to put them into something meaningful. When you buy such salads that are made, first of all, some like useless iceberg lettuce that have been cut and stored for a while in the bag, they lose so much nutrition and flavor, on top of already being pretty like limp and flavorless greens. Some of them even are not green at that point, that you rely on using the dressings. And then when you look at these dressing aisles, they're usually vast and they offer the most ridiculous combinations. It's usually a ton of different inflammatory oils with ton of sugar, with ton of flavor enhancers, with salt. So it's not a healthy food at all. Those dressings, they give so much parasitic, meaningless caloric load that, you should avoid them at all costs. When we choose the wrong ingredients as the base for our salad, the wrong greens, then we inevitably force ourselves to mask that stuff to bring up some flavor by using some dressings. It's wrong. So what I suggest, you go to the produce section and you pick something like this. You literally pick a bunch of everything. If you've never tried what they sell among those greens, on those green walls, then pick a bunch of everything and try. What is this? It's chard, red chard. I have dandelions. I will be using a whole bunch of dandelions as a base for this salad. It could be kale, it could be collard greens. Dandelions, they're more tender, so they go bad faster, so I tend to use them first. And then I switch to kale and collard greens. Then I have carrot greens, actually carrot tops. Then I have a lot of parsley here, a lot of dill, some wild broccoli. I like to call it wild broccoli. It's broccoli rabea, whatever you call it. This is what you're supposed to be picking for your salads, not those prepackaged things. The drawback of this approach is, of course, that you have to wash them manually. But trust me, your health is worth those 10 minutes. Like literally 10 minutes, out of which only 2 minutes will be of active labor. So I will show you how to wash those greens. I usually grab a big bowl, I fill it with lukewarm water, and if I put some baking soda, so I make this baking soda bath for my greens, and I just dip them in and let them sit for anywhere from 2 to 20 minutes. Sometimes I leave my greens and I bring my dog for a walk. I let them sit fully covered in this solution for some amount of time, and then I drain this baking soda solution and I give them 3 or 5 times of rinse under the running water. And then I gently squeeze my greens out of the excess water. So I'm squeezing the excess water after rinsing. And then I'm putting the whole bundle on the cutting board. And this is the tip number 2. When you cut your greens, you must cut them all together. So I will explain how it works now. So you have aromatic herbs, and this is actually, you noticed how much of parsley, how much of dill. I usually use either dill or cilantro in one salad with parsley, but parsley is something that is always there. I use a lot of them. I don't use a pinch. I don't sprinkle with them. I use a whole bunch usually, or half a bunch, depending on what I use, what I mix. So aromatic herbs are a big deal. So now, when we have this bundle here, we actually have parsley and dill throughout all the greens. Plus, the greens themselves, like all of these stems, they will have gorgeous flavor themselves. When we cut them all together, we do 2 things. First thing, look at this. My knife is not perfectly sharp. So when I actually cut, at the edges it's not so noticeable, but I first squeeze my greens. So they get squeezed and then I cut them through. This allows to draw juice into this stack. And then another thing is that now that my greens are releasing all those aromatic juices, they're also getting intermixed right away. I won't need to do this manual operation afterwards. So I'm cutting them in those probably with the period of 1 centimeter or so, depending on how in rush you are. My advice would be to buy a very big cutting board such that you don't have to think about losing some of your leaves. Now I'll change direction and give it a couple of perpendicular chops. At this point, if you are intending on using salt, you can add a little bit of salt and massage the greens. This will help to further release juices, but make sure to eat that salad right away afterwards, because then it will be at risk of getting too mushy. You can break them with hands as well if you have enough power to break the whole bunch altogether. So I will transfer these greens into the same bowl where I soaked them and washed them. It's very beautiful, it's very nice. And now we need to discuss what to do with the other ingredients. Tip number 3 is the choice of onion. Onions are usually chopped them first, such that they release aroma into the salad while I'm preparing other ingredients. Don't buy white onions. White onions are literally a waste if you're going for flavor, if you're going for some high quality, high standard of salad performance. Pick red onions and slice them depending on your flavor preferences. Actually, the way you slice onions depending on how much of the flesh you're exposing to air, you will have different contents of some chemicals. They will be altering the flavor. My favorite is half circles, but you can slice them in smaller pieces, and again, this will be producing slightly different flavor. If you want to feel the individual flavors of foods, then slice them in a little bit coarser fashion. If you want things to mix up more, then chop them finer, but then you also can combine it. You can, for example, slice half of the item in one way, then half of the item in the other way to get best of the both worlds if you wish to. Then, tip number 4 at this point is do not buy green peppers. Green peppers are also pretty meaningless when it comes to making tasty salad because they don't bear much flavor and they're much harder to digest, so they can be irritating. Pick red bell peppers or even opt for small peppers. Mini peppers are very flavorful too. So peppers I usually cut in cubes. Small peppers I buy because my dog also enjoys them quite a bit. I give him 1 pepper a day. Then I'll just stack these and we will give them another round of cutting. These ones let's add for color. In general, select when you're in the produce section, select things for color as well, because color comes from compounds. Color is not just some stupid pigment out there. It literally corresponds to certain functional compounds. And if you read about what gives a purple color, for example, red color, all those different color agents, they will have some phenomenal health benefits too. Let's add this one. Delectable. It looks very pleasureful. Then another thing is how we choose cucumbers. Cucumbers, I prefer to buy small ones because there are those English cucumbers. First of all, it's unclear for me how to store them because they're so huge. You use a half, for example, they're so expensive. They cost like a pack of small cucumbers. And another thing is that the more skin to flesh ratio you will have, which you will have more of skin compared to the volume in small cucumbers, the more flavor, the more texture you will get. Because salad is not just the flavor, it's also a texture. And all of those things, they bring up different nuances, different hints of different things. So it's very important to play with the textures as well. So cucumbers, I wash the skin thoroughly with baking soda. You can use a vegetable washing spray that helps to remove the wax. You can use that. You can combine it with baking soda scrubbing. So I'm throwing my cucumbers there. We need to talk about tomatoes. Usually for the sour hint, I use either some fermented foods such as sauerkraut, such as fermented beets, kimchi, like 2 tablespoons per salad, or tomatoes. Tomatoes is something that I don't typically eat, but I eat them when they are in season. And here, look at this beauty. This is organic heirloom tomato. I found it. I could not just walk by because it's so perfect in how imperfect it is. When you're walking past the aisles with identical fruits and vegetables, and then you see this miracle, this mysteriously looking thing, of course, it just ends up in my cart. So what to do with tomatoes? When you already prepare them, first we'll wash them with baking soda as well. But how do we cut them? If you cut it on a cutting board without special compartment, like relatively big compartment for catching the juice, what I advise you do, you cut the tomato in half and then you squeeze the juice into your salad. If it's a very ripe and fleshy tomato, then you can break it apart with your hands. If it is less ripe, if it's a firmer kind, then squeeze the juice and cut the flesh and skin on the board, on the cutting board. So this one just decomposes under minimal pressure. So I will just take advantage of that and I will just remove all this beautiful flesh out of this tomato. We're doing this and then we'll repeat this with this half. In general, don't be afraid to work on your salad with the bare hands because this is how you will be able to massage everything and squeeze all those beautiful flavors. This is what we've got. And now we need to process our avocado. I'm not using any refined oils in my salads. I only opt for whole fats. So here I'm taking avocado. I'm taking it out of the skin. It's a very ripe one. If you have not so ripe avocado, then cut it in pieces. But what I do this. So it just mashes naturally. Then I'm removing the pit. Now let's, for diversity, slice this one, if we can. Usually this is supposed to be... So I added my avocado and now we only have condiments left. So here we are with our majestic mixture here. And we need to season it. So I add, for crunch, I add pumpkin seeds. You can feel free and add any seeds or nuts that you wish. Pumpkin seeds work the best with literally any salad combination, so they're my favorite. Alternative will be, or not alternative, you can combine them with sunflower seeds. Here I have about 60 grams or 80 grams. Watch my video, I have all the measurements that provide all the necessary amino acids and vitamin minerals. So I'm adding pumpkin seeds. Then I didn't have fresh chili pepper, so I will add cayenne powder for spiciness. Then, in terms of salt, it's very important that you do not use table salt. Use gray salt, sea salt, some varieties. The more rough it looks, the better. So, and don't use very finely milled one either. Go for this one. Add just a little pinch. It bears a lot of potency, so you don't need to add much. This amount of salad seems to be huge, so you will have instinct to add a lot, but don't. Just a little pinch. And then of course the king of dressings is apple cider vinegar. I shake it, I add the mother, and I pour, just eyeballing it. Usually this bottle lasts me about 2 weeks. With like generous salad eating. Now that all ingredients are in, I'm taking my hand or a spoon and I mix everything. Mixing it that way will help you to make sure that everything is very uniformly mixed, because especially if you make this salad for a couple of people, one of you is at risk of not getting anything tasty, or will get an abundance of something one. So make sure to mix it really well. And then I will transfer it to the glass bowl. It is important because now we have apple cider vinegar here, a lot of plant acids. We don't want it to all sit in stainless steel bowl. We want to transfer it into something inert. So I'm transferring it into the glass bowl. And now in all this mess originated this gorgeous beauty, and I will try it, and I can't wait to stop recording and actually indulge in it. If you make this and you tell me that it's not tasty, like, you will swear, you will pledge in the comments that you made exactly this with exactly the same ingredients that I showed, and you just liked it. I don't know, we'll have a serious talk after that. But please follow my tips, and I guarantee that you will start enjoying your salads. Moreover, you will start getting so much nutrition from that. You will never go back. Thank you for watching. Please leave your comments, like, subscribe. Bye.